Hello and welcome to my craft room. This is Alicia from Country Mama Musings, and I'm here in my craft room of my 1902 farmhouse, and today we're getting together to work on block 62 for our heirloom Afghan crochet along. This beautiful block is the basket weave. So get your supplies and let's get started. For this block, block 62, the basket weave, we're going to be using our size H crochet hook and whatever color you've determined to be color B for your Afghan. For me, that is gray. We're going to start with a slip knot, making sure we leave a nice long tail to sew in later. And getting that placed onto our hook, we're going to loosely chain 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 26, 27, and 28. So here we have our chain of 28. Let's move on to row 1. For row 1, we are going to place a double crochet in the 4th chain from the hook. So not counting the loop that's already on your hook, count over 1, 2, 3, 4 is right here. We're going to place a double crochet right there in that chain. And we're going to place a double crochet in every chain along our beginning chain here. Make sure that you don't skip one. Here's our next chain here, placing a double crochet. I'm going to continue placing a double crochet in each chain, and I'll meet up with you when I get to the end. I'm coming up here to the very end of my chain. I've got this chain here. Don't forget your very first chain. Sometimes that's hard to see. As you get your stitches in, it kind of pushes everything towards the end. Don't forget this chain right here, your very first one, placing a double crochet there. Let's remove our hook and take a look at row 1. When you get to the end of row 1, you want to have 26 stitches. We started with 28 chains, and we did come over a little bit to start. Just note that these chains that we skipped, they're counting as a faux double crochet. So we're going to want to have 28 double crochets, counting these ones that we skipped. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, look how it curls up, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. We're right where we need to be at the end of row 1 with 26 stitches. Let's move on to row 2. For row 2, we're going to chain 2 and turn. 1, 2, and we're going to turn our work. We're going to skip the first double crochet. This is the first double crochet here, right where this chain 2, which is going to count as a faux half double crochet, it's connected to this first stitch right here. So we're going to skip this first stitch right here, and we're going to go to our next stitch as we work along. We're going to work a front post double crochet around the post of the next 3 double crochet. So a front post. So we're going to wrap around because we're going to be completing a double crochet. And we're going to enter from the front of our work around the back and come out the front again. And we're going to complete that double crochet around the post of that double crochet that we're working on from round 1. We're going to do this 3 times. We want a series of 3. So another front post double crochet, wrap around, go from the front, around the back, and out the front again. Completing another double crochet, there's 2. We want to do that one more time, completing a double crochet around the post of the double crochet below. So there's our 3 front post double crochet. Now we're going to work with these next 3 double crochet right here, but we're going to be completing back post double crochets. So we're going to wrap around and we're going to enter from the back of our work going across the front and back out the back again, grabbing our yarn and pulling it through and completing that double crochet. We're going to do that 2 more times. Wrap around, enter from the back, wrapping around the post of that double crochet from row 1 and completing a double crochet. 1 more time. Here's our next double crochet we're going to be working with. Yarn over, enter from the back, across the front and out the back again, grabbing our yarn and pulling it through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So here we have 3 double crochet that are front post double crochet, 3 double crochet that are back post double crochet. Here are the next 3 double crochets that we're going to be working with. We're going to go right back to the front post double crochet for these 3. No chains in between, just yarn over, go to that next double crochet and work a front post double crochet. There's 1, again entering from the front, wrapping around the back and poking out through the front again. There's 2, one more, and there's 3. And you can start to see where we've got some different variances showing up here as we work across. You're starting to see the basket weave already. Here are our next 3 double crochet we're going to be working with. We're going to be working around these with the back post double crochet. So once again, no chains in between, just wrap around, enter from the back, across the front and out the back again, grabbing your yarn and pulling it through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to want a series of 3. That's our first one. Here is our second back post double crochet, and here is our third. Make sure you don't accidentally double crochet. I don't want to say it that way. Make sure that you don't accidentally put 2 stitches. Make sure you move over to your next grouping of 3. Don't accidentally count this one. You've already worked that one. So we're going to the next one here. We're going to do 3 front post double crochet. Here's 1. Front post. Oops, almost at a back post. There's 2. And here's our third. Here's our next set of 3 we're going to be working with. We're going to be doing back post double crochet, again going in from the back and completing our double crochet. Here's our next set of 3 right here. We're going to be completing front post double crochet. There's 1, 2, and 3. Now we're here to the end. We have 3 plus our 1 here at the end where we turned and first started our row 1. We're going to go ahead and we're going to complete our 3 back post double crochet, and then I'll show you what we're going to do with that end little bit there where we first skipped and it created our very first stitch. Here's our second back post double crochet, and here's our third back post double crochet. Now right here we have these 3 chains that we skipped when we first began row 1. We're going to place a half double crochet at the very beginning of this top here. So yarn over, find a stitch at the very, very top. Make sure you try to get 2 strands of yarn on there, otherwise your work's going to kind of pull out funny. Pull your yarn back through, yarn over and pull through all 3. That's our half double crochet. So let me remove our hook here, and let's take a look at row 2. It's okay if it curls a little bit. It's okay if it's a little jumbly. It's all right. It's going to straighten out as we go. You can already start to see the pattern of a beautiful basket weave here. We started with chain 2. That counts as a faux half double crochet. We did our series of front post and back post double crochets across, and we ended with a half double crochet. So we have that symmetry that we always look for in our blocks. Let's move on to row 3. Hey, are you enjoying putting together all of the beautiful heirloom sampler blocks for our heirloom Afghan crochet along? If so, please make sure that you subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, check out the playlist that has all of the videos for every block for our crochet along, and be sure to share the video with your friends that like to crochet. Okay, let's get back to our project for this week. For row 3, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, remember that counts as a faux half double crochet, and we're going to turn our work. We're going to skip the first half double crochet. That's this one right here. This chain 2 comes right out of the top of that. That counts as that first stitch. We're going to skip that first stitch, and we're going to work around these 3 stitches right here. We're going to work a front post double crochet around the post. Make sure you don't get anything down here. This is the one we want right here. There's 1. Going to our next stitch, working a front post, double crochet, not half double crochet. 1 more time, working around this next stitch here, a front post, double crochet. Moving to our next grouping here, we've got these sticking to the back here. We're going to work a back post double crochet around these next 3 stitches. Now they're going to be a little difficult to see because the top of these stitches are pushed forwards. We're going to have to work back here. Yarn over, going from the back, just wrap around the post of that stitch. Don't wrap around anything down here, and complete your double crochet. Moving to the next one, complete your next back post double crochet, and then working to your next one, completing a half post. I always want to say half. Why do I do that? A front post double crochet. We've worked these 3 back post double crochet. Now you may get to this point and say, wait a second, I don't think we're supposed to do this. This is starting to look funky. It doesn't look like a basket weave. Go with the process. Trust it. It's okay. It's going to work. We're going to move on to our next 3, which are right here. We're going to complete front post double crochet around these 3. So as you're working, you're going to double up. It's going to look like you're just repeating on top of each other over and over for this next row here. But we're going to start seeing some changes in the next row. So as we work that across, you're going to have double ups of these front posts here, and you should have 2 ridges here. That's okay. Then we've got our double ups of the front posts here. We're going to do another set of the back post double crochet around the next 3 back post double crochets right there. 1, 2, and 1 more, 3. We're going to be working on these right here, completing front post double crochet around the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. Again, just make sure you get the post of that stitch that you worked on. You're not working down here, you're working up here around this post. Moving on, 3 back post double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. Our next grouping of 3 are going to be front post double crochet. There's 1, 2, and 3. Here we're to our last set of 3, completing back post double crochets. Oh, my dog's coughing, sorry. 2, and this very last one, it's going to be a little tricky sometimes to find it. There's our third one. Now here we've got our chain up 2 that we started the prior row. We're going to complete a half double crochet. Remember, we started with chain 2, so that counts as a faux half double crochet. We're going to just go right to the very top of that chain 2, pressing our hook through and pulling our yarn back through so we can complete another half double crochet. So we have that symmetry again. We started with a half double crochet. We're ending with a half double crochet. And here we have our first couple of rows. Actually, we just completed row 3. So we just completed those, and this creates, now you can start seeing that basket weave come together. This is going to be nice and squishy and pretty. It's been a while since we've had a piece of work that goes past rows 2 and 3 and just repeating, but this block does have a row 4 and 5. So let's move on to rows 4 and 5. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and we're going to turn our work. And we're going to skip this half double crochet right here. We're not going to do anything around this. And now we're going to switch things up a little bit. Now for our first 3, we're going to work 3 back post double crochet. So working from the back around the front and out the back again around these next 3 stitches. Here's 2, and here's 3. All back post double crochet. Now we've got these next 3 stitches here. We're going to work front post double crochet around these next 3. So going in from the front, around the back, and out the front again. Let me show you that. Yarn over, in from the front, around the post of that stitch, out the front again, and grabbing our yarn and pulling it through, completing that double crochet. There's 2. One more time with a front post, and there's 3. Now that we've completed those 3 front posts, we're going to go to our next set of 3 and complete 3 back post double crochet. So from the back, and sometimes it just takes a little finagling with that hook. It's a little bit of an awkward stitch. Just take your time. There's our 3 back posts. Here we've got our next 3 stitches right here. We're going to do front post, double crochet around those. 1, 2, and 3. Going to our next set of 3, back post. And again, they're just a little tricky. Sometimes you kind of have to like turn your work to manipulate it a little bit to get that hook to come through. And that's okay. Do what you have to do. There's 2. And here is 3 back post. Moving to our next 3 right here, front post double crochet. 1, 2, and 3. And as we're working this now, you're really starting to see the basket weave stitch come to life. I'm going to continue on this a few more times, and then I'll meet up with you when I get here to the end of the row. I'm here at the end of row 4. I've got my last stitch to work in, and then I've got this chain 2, so make sure that you don't miss that. Here's a front post, double crochet around the post of that stitch, completing the double crochet for our series of 3. We've got this little chain 2 right here. Remember, we're going to place a half double crochet in the top of that chain 2. Make sure it's a half. There we go. And here we are at the end of row 4, and things are really starting to pop. Row 5, we're going to do the exact same thing. Row 5, we're going to chain 2, 1, 2, turn our work, and we're going to do back post, double crochet into these stitches right here. So here's a back post, 1, a back post, 2, and a back post, 3. We're going to go here and we're going to do front post, 1, front post, 2, and front post, 3. You're going to continue on doing your front posts and your back posts across to the end of the row. I'll meet up with you there. I'm here at the end of row 5. I've got one more front post, double crochet to complete. And then here's that chain 2 that counts as a faux half double crochet. We're going to go ahead and place a half double crochet in the very top of that chain 2. And again, it's a little tight. Don't complete a double, complete a half. Yarn over, pull through all 3. Okay, here we are 5 rows into our basket weave. Look at how beautiful that is. I have to admit, when I first started the process, I thought, oh, this is going to be a disaster. But look how gorgeous this is. This would make a beautiful, beautiful blanket. If you're wanting to make this into a blanket, you can make it larger by doing a multiple of 6 plus 4 chains. So for instance, if you wanted larger, you could start with 60, which is a multiple of 6 plus 4. You could do 120 plus 4, however large you wanted to make a blanket. This is beautiful. In order to finish this block, now we're just going to start repeating rows. You're going to chain 2 and turn, and you're going to repeat rows 2 and 3, and then you're going to repeat rows 4 and 5, and we're going to continue this until our block measures approximately 7 inches square. I'm not going to meet up with you in the middle of the block like I normally do because we're already almost to the middle of our block, just completing our first 5 rows. So again, repeat rows 2 and 3, and then 4 and 5, and I'll meet up with you when our block is approximately 7 inches square. I'm coming up here on the last row for my block. I'm going to finish off here with 3 back post double crochet, 2 and 3, and of course getting that last half double crochet right here at the top of our chain 2 from before. I'm just going to do a chain just to secure it and pull my hook off of there. Look at that beautiful, beautiful block. Isn't that so pretty? I just think that's gorgeous. Now, I don't have my tape measure up here. I took it downstairs for something. However, if we fold our block over, we're super close to that perfect triangle that we look for. If I add 2 more rows, I'm going to be much too wide. This has a lot of squish, a lot of give, and so when you put your edging on this and you get this ready to add to your Afghan, you're going to be right where you need to be. So let's see, I did row 1. Here's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I was completed after about 15 rows. It may vary a little bit for you, but that's about where you want to be with those repeats. Let's look at the back side of this block because this is what I think is really great. When you turn the block over, look at that. You have just as equally beautiful of a basket weave here on the back of the block. So this is really a great pattern to use for a blanket that you want to gift to someone, for an Afghan because it's equally beautiful on either side. And once you get the knack and the rhythm of working, 3 up, 3 back, 3 front, 3 back, it comes together. So just remember, as you're working this, you're going to work 2 rows the same and then 2 rows the same, and it's going to give you this alternating pattern. Isn't that beautiful? Once you've completed enough rows to give you the 7-inch approximate square block that you need, go ahead and do not finish off your yarn. You're going to finish round 1 of your edging. The link is in the description box below. Round 1 of edging in the same color as your block. Then you're going to switch over to whatever color you've determined that you're going to use to join all of your blocks together, and you'll complete round 2 of your edging. So make sure you get round 1, round 2 of your edging on. And then once you're done, there's only one thing left to do after that. Go ahead and get yourself a little tag and mark this as block 62, the basket weave completed in color B. Well, that's all for now up here in the craft room. Didn't this block turn out beautiful? I just love it. Make sure you join us next week for our final block for this Heirloom Afghan Crochet Along series. It's going to be the parallel cables, and it is a challenge. Let me assure you, it's the great way to finish out. We've learned all of these wonderful stitches. We're going to finish out with a doozy. Make sure you come back for that very last block, and then after that, we'll start putting our Afghan together. Until I see you then, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and have a blessed day. Bye-bye.